Alright everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Cowboy Trades, and today I'm going to be teaching you what Bitcoin CME gaps are, what the CME market is, and if you should even be paying attention to it. And I'm going to do this all in 5 minutes or less, so let's jump right into the video. Alright, so what is the CME? The Chicago Mercantile Exchange is the CME, and for the rest of this video I'll just use the abbreviation CME as it will be a lot quicker. So the CME is the world's largest derivatives trading exchange. CME offer futures and options on most assets such as gold and cryptos. CME also offers Bitcoin futures, which allow traders to gain exposure to Bitcoin's volatility without holding the underlying asset. So what are futures? Bitcoin futures are simply a derivative that allow investors to make US dollars when the price of Bitcoin goes up, or lose US dollars when the price of Bitcoin goes down. Contracts are settled in US dollar, not Bitcoin. So, does it affect the price? Simply, yes, it does, but not in the way you may think. Traditionally, price is established in a market through the function of supply and demand. But with futures markets, it works a little bit differently. What happens is when there's too many buyers in a futures market, the price of the future will rise above the price of Bitcoin. When there's too many sellers, the price of the future will fall below the price of Bitcoin. Now let's find out when these markets trade. So Bitcoin trades 24/7, 365, and it never stops. However, Bitcoin futures trade based on contracts in weekly increments. Similar to how the stock market works on a Monday to Friday basis with no trading on the weekend, Bitcoin futures contracts close on Friday and open late on Sunday. What is a CME gap? So now we know Bitcoin trades 24/7, but traditional assets on futures don't trade 24/7. Now let's explain the CME gap. So CME futures trade 5 days a week and stops all price action at the end of the trading week. When BTC CME closes, the price of Bitcoin continues to trade on the spot market and fluctuate in price. However, as CME is not open, the price movement is not recorded on the BTC CME charts. Alright, now let's explain the CME gap visually using a real life example on a Bitcoin chart that I pulled myself. Okay, so you can see here where the CME market closed on a Friday, and you can see where it reopened on a Sunday. So when CME opens on Sunday, the price appears the same price as the spot market, often creating a gap which many traders argue need to be filled. Say for example here, the price was round about this level when it closed on Friday. The price then went up over Saturday and Sunday, and it reopened up higher. What then happened is the price came down to this wick here and filled that exact CME gap. This is why many traders argue that CME gaps are a great way to trade. So you might be wondering, how accurate are CME Bitcoin gaps? Historically, using CME gaps as an indicator on Bitcoin provides you with an 80% accuracy, and this indicator has been around since 2018, so we've got a few years worth of data on it. Now, to finish this video off, I'm going to go to one live example of a CME gap. Alright, now let me show you this live example of a CME gap that's just been filled on Bitcoin today. If you want to find this chart, come over to TradingView and type in BTC1, or just go on Google and type in Bitcoin CME futures. I'm on the weekly chart. So if we look over here, we can see we had a CME gap at the £31,000 level. Bitcoin then proceeded to go all the way to 69,000 before coming back and filling the exact gap. If you notice, we also have another CME gap down here at 24,750. This does not mean that this gap will be filled. Remember, trading is all about probabilities, and you should always choose your own probabilities and do what's best for you. Alright, so now we know what CME gaps are, what the futures market is, and how to trade CME gaps. Now I want to say thanks for coming and watching my channel. If you've got all the way to the end, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. And as always, this isn't financial advice. Peace.